Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday, December 11th Subcommittee meeting for the Policy and Management Group. I'll call this meeting to order at 5:05, and I will ask Ms. Chamberlain to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Sure, ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will be the sole board member here this evening. I'm Ken Fallsgraf. The other subcommittee member has been retained at work. At this point, I'll ask if there's public comment. Hearing none, let's turn the meeting over to staff.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Fallsgraf. So the three board policies and regulations that we're looking at are all they're all the same. They all have to do with temporary athletic team coaches. So it's policy number 4127, 4227, and 4327. And last time it was updated by the district was in 2005. And the new board policy that came out from the California School Board Association is from June 1st of 2024. So we'd like to update it. And the reason we're looking to update it also is because I think it was 2 meetings ago, we talked about coaches and the requirements and everything. And that board policy references these three. So I wanted to update them so that they're all current since they are intertwined. So the changes specifically are that the superintendent or designee shall regularly report to the board regarding the extent to which district coaches have completed the trainings required by law. And then it specifically calls out 3 education codes. The first one is Ed Code 33479.6, which is coaches are trained to recognize and respond to sudden cardiac arrest. And this training must be taken every 2 years. The next education code referenced is 35179.1, which is coaching education program components. And it tells you what needs to be in the training that is provided to the coaches. So they need to develop coaching philosophy consistent with district goals, sports psychology and effective communications with athletes, sport pedagogy, sport physiology, including training principles, fitness, nutrition, and awareness of harmful substances, sports management, including risk management and school programs, training in CPR, and also in automated external defibrillators and first aid. They also want to be sure that the coaches recognize and are able to respond to concussions, heat illness, and also starting in July 1st of 24, the cardiac arrest. And these certifications are consistent with national guidelines. The other education code that is referenced is 49032, which requires high school sports coaches to complete a coaching education program that meets the standards set by the school district or the California Interscholastic Federation, the CIF. And again, it references the ed code that it needs to reference. And all 3 of the policies are identical. Okay.
Okay.
When we look at the regulation, again, it's the same, it's the 3 regulations, 4127, 4227, 4327, which is temporary athletic team coaches. Again, the last time it was updated by the district was in 2005. The new one came out by the California School Board Association in June of 24. And the only difference is the regulation states that volunteers who supervise or direct an athletic program shall meet the qualifications criteria required for temporary athletic team coaches. If the volunteer does not meet the criteria, they could still volunteer with the team, but under the supervision of a fully qualified coach. And at no time shall they be given charge of the athletic program that they are volunteering with. And training shall be completed by coaches and must be retaken every 2 years. So those are the updates for these 3 board policies and 3 regulations. Any questions?
So the question I have is this does this provide continuum for the regulations that affect the head coaches?
This applies to head coaches and this applies to all coaches.
Okay, and how does it tie into the review of stuff we had the last time about athletics?
The previous one that we discussed and was put up for first read and second read and everything, that one referenced the training that coaches need to be provided. And when I went back and did a closer look, it specifically called out that it had to meet the board policy and regulation of these 3 that we're looking at today, which is why I brought them forward to the subcommittee so that everything would be up to date and current.
So the last one was more of an overview of things like basic behavior, qualifications, interacting with student athletes, etc. This one is more about the nuts and bolts of the training that's required.
For the coaches,
That
yes.
would, without that training, there can be liability for any number of things.
Correct.
So, would we expect as the board, I'll be careful with this, that if something were to happen, the question that might be asked and say, for example, a closed session review of an issue, that we would expect that the behavior of someone to come into question, or if there are a legal issue associated, default would be that the coach had the proper training.
Correct.
That would be the expectation.
Yes, sir.
Not that it would be a remedy later after we had some kind of mess going on.
Correct. This training should happen before they step foot on any kind of, team where they're in charge. This has
So
to
I
happen
think,
first.
I think that when it comes to, when they ask for the recommendation of the policy management subcommittee and the open session discussions policy. If my memory fails before then, please take the time to remind me of the discussion we just had about when these things
Need to happen.
right, and I'm probably at that going to ask for in the screening of the applicants. That if someone is going, these are positions that are applied for, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So they're not just appointed,
Correct.
so they go through some same basic hiring screen.
It depends, because the first, any kind of coaching position is a stipend position. So it's first posted at the site where the position is, and it is open for 5 days for any certificated staff that would like to.
So they get first
So
opportunity.
they get first opportunity. After that, then HR is notified and we post. So for example, right now we have posted the head football coach because no certificated person asked to, participate in being the coach.
Okay.
So they would go through an interview process and so forth. At that point, then yes, it is more like a regular application.
So I think I remember voting for, and I think it went through the whole board. Some type of program that collects information, requires people to fill things out. Just recently,
That actually is up for approval tonight, isn't it?
okay. Thank you, you just got a comment from me. What's the name of that program again?
It's Power School, sir.
Power School. Okay, so the idea would be that on Power School, when these positions are posted, you would be able to have a reference for the candidates to say, I declare that I currently hold the required certification.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. I think I will help make that very clear. Cool, okay,
Can I ask a question? Is that okay?
of course.
My question would be for current employees, teachers, classified staff members that are current employees, they would be offered it first. My assumption would be they would also have to complete whatever this training is as well, even though they're a current employee, and keep that up to date. That the requirements will not be different just because they're a current employee.
Correct.
So to make that really clear, if you are offered first opportunity and you don't hold the credential. I align that with vacating your eligibility for the position, so it behooves everyone to, hold that.
Like
If
keep
they
it up
haven't
to date.
intent, that's correct.
Yes, because it specifically says that they have to participate in the training every 2 years. So even if they're a returning coach. And it was 2 years since they went through that training, they have to do it again. By policy. It is required.
Good.
That's all I have this time, sir.
Okay, so depending on, what the meeting looks like tonight, you may have, an opportunity to revisit one or more policies that maybe even were looked at within the last 3 months. Okay?
Oh.
Okay, great. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Last call to the public?
And then the next board meeting would be on the 22nd of January.
Okay. Is there anything pressing that you need to have the subcommittee meeting for in January?
No,
Okay, so then I would suggest we resume these meetings. There's 2 meetings in February. Let's do that. Let's do the early one if possible.
okay,
And then also if we have a board member that's assigned, your assignments may change tonight. It is rearrangement of the board.
Mhm.
I don't know that the subcommittees will change. But in the event that there's not a board member here, we have 2 people that can actively participate. That we give the opportunity to let the student rep sit in an official capacity. Okay,
all right.
alrighty then. If there's nothing else, we will close this meeting at 5:18.